Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our informational session for the Long Island Forward Housing Program. We want to thank New York State first and foremost. We want to thank everybody that has helped put this together, the team. I want to thank all of you for participating today. And we want to begin to move right through this so we can value your time and your questions. And if somehow I jump off, if somebody would just stop me, but you, as we go through our slide deck, our next slide, as you look at Riverhead and all that it has to offer, this just gives you an idea of what we're gonna walk through. And then at the end, there will be a Q&A for each one of us. My opening remarks would be that Riverhead is an amazing place, an amazing town, and you know that. That's why you're part of this group. That's why you're looking at it. We will be going. Is it okay, Matt, if we continue? I thought somebody spoke.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. There's been a great deal of time and process. This project is not the first time we've gone around this track, but this time is different because of the collaboration and the work that we've done with the state, with all the partners, and making sure that we have everything buttoned down. So we appreciate your time today. We look forward to your questions. We're going to introduce our team and let you know what our roles are. And then Empire State Development, Long Island Forward Housing is going to introduce themselves as far as BJH advisors. So again, thank you. So I am Jerry Halpin. I'm the Riverhead Town Supervisor. I'm joined today by Don Thomas, who is the head of our CDA, and also Liz Keller, who's part of our community development agency team. And so we are the issuing agency and the property owner, and we're going to be leading this process with our developer selection. So again, we're thankful. And so somebody from the Empire State, Long Island Forward Housing, if you guys want to take over and introduce yourselves. Matt or Asher, if either one of you want to introduce your team.
Hey everyone, I'm Matt Tester. I'm with BJH Advisors. I'm a director with the firm. I'm joined by several of my colleagues, including Edward Lamson, who's a principal, Arthur Samuel, senior analyst, and Asher Hoyt, analyst. We are supporting the town in the procurement process, development of materials, and helping to facilitate um, the the process and what will support provide some technical assistance as the process goes along and question and answer period begins, and then the evaluation of the proposals that's performed by the town and supported by our technical assistants. So happy to be here with you all today and looking forward to a good process.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody from Empire State on that wants to introduce themselves? Brandon Gibbleman? Okay, he said he's not in not in a position, but we are very thankful for he and Kara and all their work. And I also see Councilman Kern, Bob Kern is on this with us. He has been instrumental in helping us to think through this and to be there. So if you have any questions for him, or if Bob, if you want to chime in at any point, we would love for you to do that. So you can see on that slide, a deck, it just says to ask a question during the webinar. Use the Q&A feature, and then we'll be able to get to your questions at the end, which BJH will be helping us to kind of walk through. So as far as the project introduction and the request for your development proposals, I don't think I need to read through every line for you, but this is a housing-led mixed-use redevelopment of a town-owned parking lot adjacent to the LIRR station. Hopefully, you've had an opportunity to familiarize yourself with the exact location of Osborne Avenue, Railroad Avenue, Cedar Avenue, and Court Street. Obviously, we seek an attractive, transient-oriented, pedestrian-friendly, and all of those things, environmentally sustainable, that supports the new housing opportunities and complements, I think this is key, the extensive diversity of Riverhead. And the extensive diversity that I speak of is all of the beauty that encompasses Riverhead from, and we'll get into kind of some of those attractive points in just a second. But we want to make you aware what we're looking for exactly from you. We would like to prioritize first on our want or our desired list of ourselves and our taxpayers and the current infrastructure of Riverhead is ownership oriented housing. We do understand the obstacles and the hurdles that comes with that as a developer. So we would like first and foremost, to push on our end, whether it be condos or townhouses. Rent to own is an opportunity for that because of helping that pencil out for you. And we are allowing you to propose, rental or mixed use models to support your feasibility. But I want to be very upfront and say that our thrust here is home ownership. We believe um, ownership helps people to invest in our town deeper, our fire and EMS volunteers across the board. We all know that. We know that where you live and where you own, you're a good investment in your community. And we want to see that here. We want to see people being able to, own a little slice of the American dream right here and you providing that opportunity. We also want to activate the station area. We know that the LIRR, we've had meetings with them. We're going to push them for more trains. Hopefully, one day electrification of the train tracks in Riverhead or a pass-through track, so we can make more opportunities for people to be. But with that thought, we know that this development is going to be key in revitalizing, helping us to continue the revitalization of our downtown area, while also creating an opportunity for Polish Town to thrive once again. And we see that as encompassing. So if you're looking at a map, if you're looking from Polish Town all the way through East Main Street, that's really what we want. In doing that, we want you to be able to activate that area with market supported ground floor uses that you present to us, and for the public use. And again, speaking of the improvement of connection with LIRR, our Main Street, our town square, and obviously the beautiful Peconic River, there's so much right here in this compact little, ecological and economic area for growth. There's so many opportunities for people to grow. And on top of that, we have our court system. So people that want to be close to the courts, that want to work close to the courts, whether it's doctors and lawyers, we really feel strongly that we can provide that opportunity for people right next to the Supreme Court and the county courts on a regular basis. So we're asking you to deliver a high quality design, consistent with our Railroad Avenue overlay district, our pattern book, our DRI goals, and our downtown character. We want to, with the pattern book in mind, we want to make sure that we're honoring what the people that have lived here, because that's the people that kind of filled out the pattern book. They would have given us those references, they would have taken those surveys. So it would be the old Riverhead, also coupled with what we want to attract for the new Riverhead. So we really want to make sure that we're not just appeasing someone, because that's not what we want to do. We want to lead into the future and we want to attract the people and create a whole new demographic in downtown Riverhead of young professionals that maybe want a house and ownership, but don't want to take care of a yard. So that's what we're looking really keen on. And we know that each of your companies have that opportunity. And then lastly, we want to make sure that we provide a feasibility schedule, or I'm sorry, financially feasible, and we want to know that you can implement your proposal. So we're asking you to do it well, but also to do it within your means. So I don't know if Bob or if Dawn, if either of you want to add to that, I would love to have your input.
I think the supervisor said it very well. Riverhead has been engaged in redevelopment for the last 30 years, but really getting some traction in the last 8 to 10 years. And what's going on in our downtown is pretty amazing with the help of the state and other government partners. We'll be bringing between public and private investment about $100 million into our downtown area. The work is already begun, and this is the next conquest area for us in redevelopment. And we're pretty excited about what we offer in Riverhead, and we're excited to hear what you can bring to the table.
Kern, Councilman Kern, did you want to add anything to this? Would love
No, I
to hear
think
your
you and
voice.
Dawn, thank you, but I think you and Dawn covered it really well. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. All right, so for our next thing, as we move along, we're gonna do our procurement process timeline, and I'm gonna ask BJH to take the lead on that for us.
Thanks, happy to do it. So I want to talk through the key dates in the process. These are outlined in the RFP, so you might want to have them handy, since the town will be, following the guidance related to those, particularly about question submittals and the submission deadlines. So we'll start with today. This is the info session. It's non-mandatory, but we're obviously glad that you're here and think it's a good starting step for the process. Next is Tuesday, July 21st at 11 a.m. 6 days from now, there will be an in-person site tour. Also non-mandatory, but a good chance to see the parking lot itself and the boundaries, the street, surrounding streets, and as well as its relationship to the LIRR station firsthand. So the registration for that is separate from this one. You should see both on the town website. So make sure that you register for that as well if you plan to attend. Following that, the questions deadline, Monday, July 27th at 3 p.m. And this is a hard deadline, so all substantive questions about the RFP would need to be submitted in writing by 3 p.m. Then. So there won't be any late questions accepted, and this is the way that you get official answers into the process. So the town's responses to the submitted questions will be posted on Monday, August the 3rd, which is 1 week after the question submittal deadline. So the town will circulate a consolidated Q&A response document so that all respondents get the same info at the same time. And so we encourage you to make sure you're signed up to get those updates. Okay, following that, responses are due Monday, August 24th, 3 p.m. This is obviously the one that matters the most. So one electronic copy submitted to the email address that's listed by 3 p.m. And then finally into the process of selecting finalists and then designating a selected developer. So shortly after the submissions close, the RFP states that the review team, which includes members of the town board and the economic development team, will select approximately 3 finalists, although that number is not binding. And then finalists may have a chance to present their concepts to the town board. So that process is what is included between the sort of selection of finalists and then the final designation. So those public hearings are expected to be late September at present. So these are just approximate dates. The final scheduling for those will follow, but we wanted to give a sense for the overall cadence, which is so about 10 weeks from today to a selected developer being identified is generally the idea.
Thank you, Matt. And so we're gonna keep moving right along and we're gonna go into our site detail. And so I've asked Dawn to kind of walk over this as the head of that department. So sure.
So just as a way of background, and it'll include the next, the overlay zone slide as well. We created the TOD overlay to attract development to this area. The town owns this 2.07 acre parking lot. It was assembled back in the early 90s through the acquisition of a number of different residential and commercial buildings, and it's currently used for port parking. When we did the TOD overlay rezone, we recognized that the area, in order to attract development, the area could use a little more height. There are larger, taller buildings in the area already, and so we rezoned the area to attract development. And indeed, we immediately got a proposal that's nearly completed construction on the corner of Port Street and Osborne Avenue. It's not shown on the slide, but it's nearly ready for occupancy and has a commercial tenant on the first floor. The current use is for court parking. It's an underutilized parking area, so the town feels it would be better used and suited for development for residential mixed use redevelopment, and to really energize that area as a TOD hub. The bus, Suffolk County bus area is right there, as is LARR, as you can see in the slide. And this area is a very short walk, 3 to 4 minute walk to downtown. It's about a 10-minute walk to the Long Island Aquarium, which is on the far east end of our downtown proper area. And that can roll us right into the next slide, I think.
Yep, our regional attractions, if you guys wanna kick that up. So regionally, we have so many amazing things that we have here in Riverhead. Not only are we part of the North Fork Wine Trail, we have an ever growing and ever expanding Northwell Health Peconic Bay, which is increasing under the leadership of Amy Loeb. Obviously, we're the destination shopping for all of the East End, everybody from Manorville, from Exit 68, all the way to both ends of the Forks. People come here to shop and play. I think the biggest thing is that we live where others come to vacation. We live where others come to enjoy, but we also live where everybody comes to do life. Having all of the building supply places, Riverhead Building Supply, Home Depot, Lowe's, there's a natural traffic pattern each and every day in Riverhead. We have the Epcal Enterprise Park, which we're going to be working on as well. We have Splish Splash, we have Scotts Point, Tanger Outlets. We have not only the beaches of the bay, the Sound, but we also have the Peconic River. There's just absolutely nothing that Riverhead doesn't have to offer. We have some of the most amazing food, from Turkish food to Polish food to, Italian food. Just it's everything and anything that you should be excited about as developers, that you get the opportunity to be part of the future story of Riverhead. And so the regional attractions are huge. And if you go to the next slide, our downtown specific assets, that's where I would point out that the court system. Every day, whatever you're going to do your mixed use on the first floor, every day there are lawyers and judges that come from all over Long Island, from all over the world. We were just the national center for Gilgo Beach, which is not something that we would ever want to see happen again. But when that does happen, obviously people from all over the world are tuned in and see the front and center. And so we have the opportunity to provide, housing for those lawyers and those judges and court reporters and different things. We also have the Suffolk County Historical Society. We are the absolute center of Suffolk County. We are the regional center. And one of the key components of that, I think, is the Suffolk Theater. We have this 1920s Art Deco place that is hopping every weekend, and we're just looking for continuation. From the Long Island Aquarium that has been invested in our town forever, to Grangeville Park, which is underutilized right now, and we're continually activating. Again, I think as developers, you get to be so lucky. We have Polish Town has some of the most amazing architecture you've ever seen in your life, and with a church that speaks in those ways. I think that again, we've seen movies shot here. Your development will be less than 2 blocks from where Phoebe in Wonderland was shot at a historic school. The Coen brothers have shot multiple movies on site here in Riverhead. And so I cannot tell you how lucky each and every one of us are to be part of the continuation of the story. So Dawn and Bob, if you guys want to jump in, I'd love to hear your additions.
I just mentioned that downtown is a compact, urbanized, and historic National Register recognized downtown. We have amazing buildings. It creates an old town feel with a new town vibe. We're located on the Peconic River. There are no other downtowns in Suffolk County that are located along a river, and that river leads to the Peconic Bay. So there's lots of maritime activities that are available to anyone who lives in this area. As the supervisor mentioned, we have the Suffolk Theater. We've just been fortunate enough to attract the Jazz Loft has just recently purchased the Bell Levitt Music Hall, which is a miniature of the Ford Theater. It's located right in downtown, within a 2-minute walk of this proposed TOD location. And I think the new centerpiece is what we're really embracing is the redevelopment of the town square. And that town square project was a DRI project, a 2021 awardee from New York State. Thank you, New York State again. And that project is under construction. It will be flanked by a new Hilton Tapestry Hotel that's currently about to be under construction. Site plan approval is coming shortly. And again, steps away from the Long Island Aquarium and other really interesting attractions, restaurants, and art in abundance in this downtown area. So for a young person who's not, as a supervisor mentioned, interested in mowing the lawn, but rather going out to dinner and getting cultural experience, Riverhead is your spot. And that's what I would add.
Bob, Councilman Kern?
Yeah, I'm just going to add that there's over 4,000 acres between county, federal, and local parkland, and also the Peconic River extends to all the way to Brookhaven Lab, and it's famous. It's known for kayaking and canoeing, and a lot of people travel out here, and the people that live out here utilize those facilities that we have.
Yeah, the whole island tips every weekend. They come.
And I think the supervisor mentioned all roads lead to Riverhead, and I think every Long Islander knows the name Riverhead because every single sign on the Long Island Expressway says our name.
Yeah, absolutely. Brand recognition. Thank you both. I'm really looking forward to that. And so I think we're just going to continue. Dawn had kind of had mentioned it, but we're just going to have a go over. I know really important to you as developers is our business improvement district and our zone overlay. So I just want to, if you want to highlight that one more time as they look at those slides.
Yep. So the business improvement district, as you can see, the boundary is in blue here. We have an active business improvement district management association with a brand new, very energetic executive director. They're doing amazing things downtown. We have Alive on 25. We have various, we have a cardboard boat race in the summer. We have through East End Arts Council, a member of the BIDMA, our Mosaic Festival, which is a chalk festival that's all over our downtown streets. We close the streets and we have people draw whatever they want in chalk. It's an amazing festival. And again, music and culture coming into the forefront. We have a very exciting new restaurant located at the Preston House Hotel coming in shortly called Abigail's. And again, that marina on the end of that district you see is an award-winning marina. It's attached to a Hyatt Place Hotel, one of the busiest Hyatt places in the country. And it's immediately connected to the Long Island Aquarium and the Sea Star Ballroom, which is a host for many social and other public events.
And we're doing our part to partner with you as developers by working with Polish Town to bring that back to the vibrance that it is, to make sure that we're working with our schools to provide opportunities for education, people that will be proud to come to. We have a private school, private Catholic school that families can opt into if they want to. There's opportunities for those different things. Again, our hospital, but our business improvement district, as Dawn said, there is no oversaturation because, as Bob said, everybody comes here. So I think Councilman Kern said it well, Dawn said it well. There are plenty of events, even there's so many more. We do a Christmas fair right here in our town square. There's constantly activity for those families, again, that want to live you just don't have to travel in Riverhead. You can be in wine country. You can be on a 9-mile bike ride at EPCAL. So you can feel like you're not on Long Island, and then you can have the downtown feel and go out to dinner and go to a theater and have that experience all within, a 24-hour period. So again, it's a unique opportunity, and because it hasn't been developed over the years, we sit in this unique position where we get to define the next 100 years of the east end of Long Island. So it's exciting. So if you want to take the zone overlay.
Sure, the yellow area is the TOD overlay district. This was laid on top of our urban renewal area. The urban renewal area was created in 1997 to kind of energize and draw investment to this district, which was blighted and disinvested. So we looked at that again and thought, how could we draw investment in 2018? The state of New York was wonderful in awarding us a strategic investment planning grant we used to create this district through consultant Nelson Hope and Voorhees. We did a study. We created a new zoning district, which includes more density and height. And as I mentioned earlier, immediately attracted investment. And we're hoping for more of the same. The district has some additional density opportunities, and you'll see it's in the packet with community benefit. And, it has been successful so far. We want to see it be incredibly successful.
That's it. And then you guys can scan through the planning background. You can see where it is. And with that in mind, the last pitch before we go to our Q&A and turn it back over to BJH is I just want to say that as developers and planners, we are inside our ecosystem here at Town Hall. We're working to make your life doable on an accelerated scale. We will be moving to electronic permitting this year. By the end of the year is our hope. We're also going to be doing some massive uphauling to our scanning so that records and filing is easier. And then on top of that, and this is my own personal plug, we have some of the most amazing planning, CDA, and building staff you're going to find. They care. And fire marshals, while they might hold you to boundaries, they really care. They want your building to be solid. They want it to be good. And they're here on the weekends. They work. They're just constantly working because they live here. They live here, they play here, and they work here. And so with that, I'm excited for you. I hope each of you wins, but but I know there's going to be plenty of opportunity for other development in Riverhead. So thank you to the state. Take it, Matt, if you want to take it and start our Q&A.
Yeah, Supervisor, if I can just chime in one thing that I think we need.
Yes, thanks.
Um,
Sorry.
That's okay. Riverhead has the most protected land in Suffolk County, which is a major attraction for people. So the vistas are incredible in Riverhead. Just wanted to add that as well.
It's great stuff. Love it.
Great. Well, I think now we wanted to open up the floor to any incoming questions. So we'll pause for any now. Shall we start a countdown?
Either that or we start telling bad jokes. There's a chat. Is there anything on the chat?
Oh, that was
Oh,
great.
it was Brandon.
I see a number of questions that have come in written, so I can start to work through those. All right, so from John Carden, is all housing acceptable to be proposed as market rate? Is there any affordable requirement?
I think in our very beginning, we said that everything's on the table. There's no requirement at all. I think that we want to prioritize our first time home buyer models and our home ownership. I think that's the priority, but I don't think we're not necessarily looking, Bob, if you want to jump in there, I don't think we're looking for affordable housing in this section.
Yeah, I think I think we need to uh, hear what from the developers, and that would help us. That would guide us. I mean, there's rent to own options. Uh, it, I think it's important to hear from the developers and their experience, and before we make any decisions on what the what we're going to do.
Fair.
All right,
Great question.
on to the next question. Christiana Kostalik. Who utilizes the parking lot today, and is there an expectation to replace those spaces as part of this project?
Yes, the parking lot is utilized today mostly by Suffolk County Court visitors and employees. It is most of the time less than half full, or even less than that. There's ample public parking throughout the downtown area, but we do anticipate proposals suggesting how that parking would be replaced.
It's a great question.
Next question is from Braden Shaw. For the form attached in the RFP, it talks about recent contracts completed. Does that refer to multifamily developments, or can you elaborate what you mean by contracts?
I think that's referring to I'm not looking at the RFP, so it's a little out of context, but I would imagine it's referring to projects that we have underway downtown.
Okay, and we can follow up with additional clarity in writing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy enough to do.
Okay. Okay, next question from John Carden. Are there any public subsidies anticipated to be available?
I would
Um,
say, go ahead, Don.
Well, the town is not offering any subsidy. The property is in an urban renewal area, so the town has flexibility in the cost of the land. There are programs at the state that are providing funding for, I think BJH might be able to speak to some of this, but pro housing, Riverhead is a pro housing community. But I think in the ownership realm, we're looking for something that a first time home buyer could manage to get into. So there's AHOP through HCR. We're kind of interested in listening to anything
Yeah,
you have on your minds. So, but those are the ones that we are aware of and know about. So for infrastructure and for affordability for ownership.
yeah, we're willing to explore anything. Bob, what do you want to say? Councilman Kern?
No, I think Don covered it. Thank you.
Yeah, again, I think we're not looking for affordable or low income housing.
Yeah, it's not the aspect. It's not, we are attacking that in other areas of our town.
Yeah.
This is something that we're looking for, again, whether it be people from the court systems or, teachers, professionals, young professionals, retirees that don't want to, want a different style of life.
All right, next question from Peter Beck. Do all 237 existing spaces for the courthouse need to be replaced on a one-for-one basis?
I think, go ahead, Bob.
I was going to say, I had a conversation with our attorney, Emery Prudenti, and the answer to that, I asked her the same question, and the answer was no. And going back, she looked at the contract with the court, with Suffolk County. And I spoke to her about 3 days ago on this.
I think what we're looking for is a very functional parking scenario, however that can be designed.
Okay, next question, Joe Graziosi. What role will the IDA play in this process? Do you anticipate a pilot?
Well, I think anyone's available to apply for the IDA benefits. I think where it falls and where you land is gonna be between you and the IDA. And I think that's the But I think, as someone asked earlier, what's available to you, I think you should look at all availability as a developer to make this pencil out and work for you and the home buyer.
Next question, Peter Beck. Is shared parking between new residential and the courts an option for the replacement parking?
Yeah, I think that's a good model to look at. We don't want to have to build parking for every single use. Shared parking is part of the recommendations of our our recent parking studies, which were also funded by New York City. Thank you again.
Next question from John Morgan. Does the town IDA have an established program for homeownership pilots?
I'm going to answer that. Having been on the board, the answer is no. And it's something you may want to, look at, but I would explore that with them. Um, I don't know if rent to own uh, uh, falls within their, in their ability to give benefits. But again, I would address that with the IDA.
Thank you, Councilman. That's the final written question that's been typed into the chat. So we'll pause for a minute to see if any more come in or if anyone else wants to jump in with a question.
I think additional one. There's one additional question that came in.
You're right. Peter Beck asks, one more question related to parking. Is funding available for public parking on the site?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer
I
to.
don't think we can explore that. We could explore that. I don't think we have yet. Great question.
We'll look into that and respond in writing.
Okay, I don't see any more at present, but perhaps someone's typing, so we'll pause. One more from John Morgan. Would the town have an appetite for sharing parking since the court uses are limited to specific times?
Yeah, I think we answered that before. Yes.
I think that's
Yes.
similar to
Yes.
Peter's question. Yep.
Yes, similar, yeah.
I would just chime in on that for a second and say that there's parking. The court sits in the center. The TOD parking lot is on the north side. On the south side, that parking lot is not full, and that's court parking as well. There's parking for the court there.
Good, man.
I don't see any more.
Well, we just want to say one last time, thank you very much for each of you, taking the time, investing your efforts and energy and thoughts in Riverhead, and we look forward to it, and we're excited about the future, and we know this is gonna, be a great success for all of us. Thank you to BJH and the state, Empire State Development, Long Island Ford Housing, all of you. You guys have been amazing through this, so look forward to the rest of this process.
Yeah, pleasure to work with your team, Matt.
Wonderful. Thanks, everyone. I believe that concludes the info session.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.